Hello everyone! One of the most amazing attacking games happened yesterday. It was the 2017 Speed Chess Championship on chess.com. It was the semifinals and Alexander Grischuk is playing against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. And well, it was quite an amazing game. One of the best attacking games I've seen in a long time. Grischuk had the white pieces and he played e4. MVL, of course, well, his response to e4 is known, it's the Sicilian defense. And, well, Grischuk, it seems he avoided the main line. He played knight to c3, the closed Sicilian. Probably, well, MVL is known to be a Sicilian expert, so this is, well, quite understandable. d6 and f4, the Grand Prix variation. Knight to c6, knight to f3, g6, bishop to c4, bishop to g7, Grischuk castles, we have e6, and the d4, immediately opening up the center as the black king is still in the middle of the board. Here MVL played knight captures on d4. Winning a pawn with c captures on d4 doesn't really do anything for black, as after knight to b5, white can always, well, just recapture the pawn, but there is always, well, something better. If black even tries to defend this pawn, his king is still in the center of the board. This wouldn't be very safe. So after d4, MVL responded with knight captures on d4, and we have bishop to e3. Knight captures on f3, queen captures on f3, and knight to e7. Grischuk goes for rook 8 to d1, now threatening bishop captures on c5. But MVL decided to let this pawn go as he is up a pawn, so he decided to castle instead. Bishop captures on c5 was played and queen to c7. Now if bishop captures on d6, queen captures on c4. But this is what Grischuk does. He plays bishop captures on d6, queen captures bishop on c4, and bishop captures on e7. We have rook now to e8, attacking this bishop on e7, and here we have an extreme move. This is something else. Grischuk plays d5. He invites MVL to capture this bishop on e7 to go for some sort of an attack. Although nothing is well, you don't really have anything straight away from the attack, so it's a beautiful piece sacrifice. Also with d5, he's locking this bishop on g7. It's not really that strong of a piece. So MVL of course captures this bishop, rook captures on e7, and we have rook to d8 with check. This has to be defended. Bishop to f8 is pretty much the only move, and here we have knight to e4, sorry, threatening knight to f6 check, and well, this would be very dangerous. So king to g7 is played, not allowing any checks. Knight to f6 nevertheless. And well, this is the critical position in the attack. It's very hard to find a good move for black here. MVL played queen captures on c2, and this allowed an unstoppable attack. But the only move that actually can save MVL is the rook to d7. You have to give up this rook temporarily, because after knight captures on d7, you play bishop to e7, now attacking this rook. And this rook has nowhere to go. If rook to e8 is played to attack the bishop, then queen to d4 check. And after king h1, you simply pick up the knight with queen captures on d7. But as this was a blitz game, a resource like this isn't very easy to find. So after knight to f6, MVL played queen captures on c2, and this allows Grischuk to really go all out. He plays queen to h3, now threatening queen captures on h7 with checkmate. So h5 must be played. Now queen to g3. The threat is knight captures on h5, as now this g pawn is pinned. Queen to f5, only move to stop this. And well, this is a really great position. It's a great moment in the game. I watched this game live, and Eric Hansen and Daniel Rensch were considering how rook to c1 was really a strong move. It really leaves black without any options. He can't develop with b6, bishop to b7. This bishop is going to fall. But after this queen to f5 move, Grischuk played an even more outstanding move. He played rook to d1. And nobody really understood what the idea behind rook to d1 is. I mean, now you're allowing b6 and bishop to b7 why allow this? Why not play rook to c1? So MVL immediately played b6, hoping to develop this light square bishop, but then Grischuk showed his true intention. He played rook captures on f8. And, well, you can't really capture this rook. MVL did capture it because there is no immediate, well, I mean there is, but it's not that easy to see it. He captured the rook, and the Grischuk played rook to d8 with check. King to g7 was played, and now rook to g8 with check. MVL played king to h6, only move, and now comes Grischuk's brilliant idea. He plays h4, and well, in this position MVL resigned the game, as there is no defense against queen to g5. Whatever move black plays, for example bishop to a6, doesn't really matter. Queen to g5 wins the game immediately. Queen captures on g5 only move, and h captures on g5 with checkmate. It's an outstanding checkmate and a brilliant attack. A brilliant piece sacrifice with this d5 idea, and well, for a blitz game, it's just amazing how Grischuk found all of this in such short time. So yeah, that's the game. I do hope you enjoyed it. These were the semifinals. Grischuk is waiting for the winner, who will win. Magnus Carlsen is playing against Wesley in November, and then he will play against the winner of that match. Will play against Grischuk in the semifinals, and then well, we'll have the finals depending on who wins on the other side of the schedule table. So yeah, that's it. I do hope you enjoyed the game. As usual, you can check two of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon.